'cause I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready when joy comes back around. One more time. I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready when joy comes back around. To sing with all of you this morning is such joy. And I wonder, what do you make of it? This feeling that comes when our voices and bodies come together in jubilant song. How do you return to it in the days and weeks to come? Is that an option we have? Our reading for today are the words of Jan Richardson for joy. You can prepare, but still it will come to you by surprise. Crossing through your doorway, calling your name in greeting, turning like a child who quickens suddenly within you. It will astonish you how wide your heart will open in welcome for the joy that finds you so ready and still so unprepared. I remember a Christmas morning, quite some time ago, when I scurried downstairs into the living room, excitedly anticipating the half-eaten cookies and carrots alongside Santa's note, and anything else Santa may have left for me. As soon as I entered the room, all thoughts of Santa's leftovers vanished as I beheld the newfound freedom standing next to the tree. A purple bike with pink flowers, fully equipped with training wheels, a tiny bell, a white plastic basket, and perhaps most thrilling of all, sparkly silver streamers bursting from the handles. I was ecstatic. And though it was certainly far too cold for a bike ride, you better believe I hit the sidewalks for days. That joy of receiving the perfect gift has been surpassed these days often by a desire to give my dear ones the perfect gift. In fact, I was reminded of this childhood bike jubilation when I gave a dear friend of mine an early holiday gift this year. You see, a few weeks ago, on a phone call, she was talking about treating herself to a little gift at the end of the semester. It'll be her third semester in a philosophy PhD, so a gift she certainly deserved. She told me that she was going to upgrade her coffee maker. As a fellow coffee lover, I applauded this decision, and knowing her current coffee setup quite well, I asked, "And are you getting a new coffee grinder too?" "Oh no, just the one treat," she responded. Unfortunately, Or, I suppose, fortunately for her, I had recently emerged from a totally random, deep dive into the art of coffee making and had been told time and time again that although her $5 coffee grinder would absolutely grind coffee, it would make a pretty big difference for her coffee drinking experience if she had something a little better. Her new coffee grinder arrived earlier this week, just before the coffee maker. She was surprised and overjoyed, but I think I may have been even more so, possibly selfishly. I don't often have the opportunity to gift something that is useful, will be used and appreciated most days, and is not something someone was gonna already buy themselves. Even thinking about it now gives me a little boost. She's probably making coffee as we speak. I will say it is a little humbling to consider that the childhood joy from the freedom of bike adventures and exploration has transformed into the joy from the freedom of a good cup of coffee at home. But really, through this joy, I'm reminded how well we know each other, how deeply we care for one another. And that love and appreciation is something I will carry with me long after this grinder stops working. So this morning, we're talking about joy. And we're actually joining many other faith communities in our little meditation on joy. Because in the Christian faith, this third Sunday of Advent marks the lighting of the joy candle. And for those celebrating Advent, the joy is cultivated through the anticipation of Christ's birth, and with it, the arrival of God's gift of salvation. If you were here last week, you may remember that we explored in the children's Christmas pageant that Unitarian Universalists tend to approach this season a little differently. We tend to focus with an eye towards the lessons we learn from the Christmas story and all the stories of this time of year, this season. As Ernest H. Sommerfeld once wrote, "We believe that some stories deserve to live forever because of what they tell us of ourselves and our world. The angels singing an anthem of peace and goodwill deserve to be heard forever because they are the angels in human hearts. The humble shepherds who had ears to hear and hearts to receive a message of joy deserve to live to the end of time because they remind us of our responsibility to make this world into a better place. The three wise persons so faithfully seeking the way of a star deserve to go in search again each year, as long as years shall be, for they are the story of our quest for what is best in ourselves and in our broken and beautiful world." It can be hard to dive into joy when we're so aware of the brokenness of our world. This season of Advent, it's a season of waiting, of expectation, of longing. And on this third Sunday of Advent, when a candle is lit for joy in churches around the world, we also have to wonder, how is it that we can celebrate joy when there's also so much suffering? Why should we lean into joy when we are also scared and uncertain, weary and exhausted by the news known and news yet to emerge. Not to mention the heartache that often arises this time of year for heavy memories, for painful realities within family relationships, for seats left empty this year because loved ones who have been lost. This joy that I speak of today in no way removes the grief and pain. Just as the joys that we share together on Sunday mornings don't negate the sorrows that we share. In these times of juxtaposition, I often turn to wise words written by people who have been thinking about this for a lot longer than I have. So I want to share with you the words that I found that started to make sense of this. It's from Mary Oliver's poem, Don't Hesitate. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate. Give in to it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. We are not wise, and not very often kind, and much can never be redeemed. Still, life has some possibility left. Perhaps this is its way of fighting back. That sometimes something happens better than all the riches or power in the world. It could be anything. But very likely you notice it in the instant when love begins. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not made to be a crumb. Don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not made to be a crumb. Joy is surprising. It is in the unexpected, unasked for way that joy comes, that it's so different from other things in our world. It is rarely in our control or in our reach, even when it arises when stuff is happening that's hard or even disturbing. Cultivating joy, a spiritual discipline, comes from appreciating our interdependence, our inability to be without one another, and the miracles that exist that allow us to feel connected and supported by the people and the world around us, even in our heaviest moments. It comes from appreciating that the gift of a bike or a coffee grinder signifies so much more than our needs or desires being met. These gifts, however small they can be, little acts of kindness, signify that miracle of connection and support with those we love and with our community. And today, we're not just talking about joy. We're talking about a sustaining joy. I preach this sermon today because we may be waiting for moments of joy, or perhaps you're already remembering joyful moments of your days past. But I'm imagining that sustaining joy may feel like more of a hurdle by mid-January. As I think about the Christmas story and this promise of salvation through Christ that so many have celebrated before us, as I think about the promises and hope held in the longest night of the solstice, or the sustaining light of the menorah celebrated in Hanukkah, I am reminded that the joy we find in this season is in fact built to be sustaining. A deeper emotion than happiness, joy draws from a sense of purpose and meaning that can endure through challenging circumstances, providing resilience and motivation to keep going even when faced with adversity. Essentially, it acts as an internal source of strength for us. And these stories that accompany us in this holiday season are stories of perseverance. The oil that lasted 8 days and 8 nights enabled and represented perseverance. The longest night of the year reminds us that there is beauty in the darkness that gives us strength to persevere when we yearn for the light of the sun. When unable to find rest, Mary and Joseph persevered. This season is built to invite us into a sustaining joy, if we let it. So, how might we practice cultivating a sustaining joy this season? I encourage you, when encountering these moments of joy, to pair that feeling with a little meaning. When you're moved by a beautiful sunrise on a cold morning, be reminded that you are moved by the beauty of the earth. That's sustaining. When you are delighted by a gift given or a gift received, be reminded that you are delighted by demonstrations of love and interdependence. That is sustaining. When you are surprised by the uplifting power of music, be reminded that you carry so much power within you to uplift the world. That is sustaining joy. These are the sources of joy that sustain us far beyond the season. May we keep our hearts open to this joy and the joy that we carry with us, because it will astonish you how wide your heart will open in welcome for the joy that finds you so ready. Let us keep our hearts open and let us sing.